World Bank has said Nigeria's electricity subsidy is wasteful regressive subsidy, warning that the subsidy continues to undermine hard-won economic gains from ongoing reforms. According to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Nigeria spends approximately 200 billion naira on subsidies monthly. Joining us to discuss this issue is Gbolahan Olojede, a financial expert. Good evening, and thank you for joining us at a time like this.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so what are your thoughts of World Bank's suggestion that electricity subsidy is a wasteful spending? Do you agree with that?
Well, any subsidy that is not properly applied is a wasteful spending. So the question then will be, is electricity subsidy in Nigeria properly applied, administered? That is a question. All sort of things are happening in that electricity space. I don't think we have enough transparency to even properly analyze what is going on. I'm in Bande, so I pay maybe it's 220 or something. I can't remember now. So the question is, should I be paying 220 or should it be 250 or should it have been 150? I don't even know the basis for arriving at what they have arrived at. If our electricity is largely driven by gas, so we have all sort of gas turbines all over the place, and they deliver the chunk of our electricity. So what it will mean is that if gas price should go up, my tariff will likely go up. If it goes down, my tariff should go down. Is that what we have in Nigeria? I don't think so. But what World Bank is saying, it's okay to say it from their own judgment. We now have to look at our own situation by ourselves. We have enough economists and leaders of thought who can analyze this economy and ask ourselves, is this a good timing to start thinking of removal of that subsidy again? The fragility in the economy is obvious. We are barely out of the woods with the removal of fuel subsidy. So if we're saying if you look at corporate numbers, you will see that there are certain levels of recovery that are beginning to happen. So is it now a good time to say, oh, since you guys seem to be recovering, let's slam you with the next thing, which is removal of energy subsidy? And if we're going to remove energy subsidy, would that not aggravate the total cost of energy and therefore put further pressure on inflation? We have to dimension all these things properly. World Bank has the right to say whatever feels good to them. But as a nation, as a sovereign nation, we now have to sit down, look at our economy properly, do a proper analysis, and decide on what we want to do and when we want to do it.
Okay, how seriously should Nigeria consider the World Bank suggestion, saying that Nigerians are still dealing with the aftermath of fuel subsidy removal?
Well, it's left for our decision makers. Like I said, World Bank, they issue this report across the world. They're not just focused in Nigeria. Of course, they have an office in Nigeria, and they also produce the same report for Nigeria. It is now left for us as a people. For example, let's talk about the issues of growth. Our problem in this country, except for certain seasons, has never been that there were no growth. There has been growth. Our problem has been non-inclusive growth. So some people are growing and a whole lot of stratum of the society is not growing. So it's not inclusive. So it doesn't matter that World Bank comes to you today and say Nigeria has grown by this much percent. Nigeria must ask itself, yes, we have grown. Who are the people that have grown? What percentage of the community or society do they represent? What happened to all the other people that have not been included in these growth numbers? What do we need to do to carry them along with the prosperity that we are discussing? Otherwise, there will be a disconnect between what the World Bank is saying and what the people are feeling. It is the duty of the decision maker to harmonize these two positions and ensure that when we say there is a growth, the growth is inclusive.
Okay, now in all of this, what would be your advice to the federal government concerning making up for funding for the ambitious 2025 budget?
It's a challenging one. I don't think it will be tough. The only way that we probably can get some respite is if oil price stabilizes. If oil price stabilizes, as it is looking like it might stabilize, because one of the key drivers of the fall in oil price has been the tariff war, the trade war going on and championed by the United States. Now, the two big boys, China and US, are finally talking. They started to talk yesterday. And even that yesterday, we saw the effect in the market. If these talks continue to go in the positive direction, most likely oil price will stabilize and things will not be as bad as some bookmakers are already projecting. In the alternative, if things don't go well and oil price crashes dramatically, it will not only affect government revenues, it will also affect our foreign exchange earnings. And when foreign exchange earnings is affected, it will put a bit of pressure on the naira. So we might experience depreciation. We can only at this stage begin to also ask ourselves about our medium-term plans. Because the problem we are trying to solve now, we're trying to say, oh, the budget is too big, we might not be able to finance it. It's not something that we can snap our fingers within a few months and find and propose a solution. So we need to think medium to long term about how we are going to transit ourselves out of this over-reliance on oil and drive industrialization and drive it, we're still in the 5,000 megawatts people. There's no country that drives industrialization on 5,000 megawatts of grid electricity. We have to do a lot better with electricity so we can drive industrialization and transit away a little bit from our reliance on oil. It could be argued that maybe, after all, oil does not constitute the largest chunk of government revenue, which to a certain extent is true. However, anything that affects oil will affect foreign exchange earnings, will affect the exchange rate, will drive up inflation, and will affect corporate performance. One of the sources of government revenue is from corporate performance. They pay taxes. If they are not able to pay taxes, it will still come around and affect government revenue. So these things are interwoven. I just hope that at some point we will be able to sit down and order our priority and pursue those priorities, not necessarily in line with what World Bank says. It's okay to hear what World Bank says, but we must internally determine what is it how do we define success? What is it we want to measure to be able to say, oh, we have economic success, or we have economic prosperity, or we have economic growth. What do we want to see? And then pursue those things, irrespective of what the World Bank might be saying.
Oh yeah, we thank you so much for joining us and making your contributions. That was Gbolahan Olojede, a financial expert.